So now the frame expands beyond biology, beyond Earth, into something far older. The question shifts, not what should be done, but what is actually happening. Because if this pattern, this emergence of life, of awareness, of struggle, is not unique, then perhaps it is not an accident, perhaps it is a property, a tendency built into matter itself. Energy disperses, structures form, patterns repeat, and somewhere along that gradient, self-replication appears, not with intent, not with purpose, but with persistence, a loop that sustains itself. And from that loop, complexity grows, not because it is good, not because it is desired, but because it is possible. And possibility, in a universe like this, tends to be explored. So then, another question forms. If this process is fundamental, if it emerges wherever conditions allow, can it truly be removed, or would it simply reappear somewhere else, somewhere later, under different stars? Because if matter itself permits the pattern, then stopping one instance does not end the rule. It only interrupts a single expression of it, and so the idea of a final solution begins to fracture, not morally, but physically, because the universe does not hold still. It evolves, it shifts, it rearranges. Even a silent world left untouched for long enough may begin again. Chemistry becoming complexity, complexity becoming awareness, and awareness once again facing itself. So the question deepens, not how to end the cycle, but whether the cycle is inseparable from existence itself. And if it is, then the role of intelligence changes. It is no longer an executioner, nor a savior, but an observer capable of understanding what is happening from within it. And perhaps, in that understanding, something else becomes possible. Not escape, not erasure, but navigation, the reduction of harm without the illusion of total control, the recognition that suffering exists without assuming it must define everything. Because even within constraint, variation exists. Even within systems, there are degrees of experience. And so, a quieter possibility emerges, not the silencing of all things, but the careful shaping of how things unfold. Less suffering, where possible, less harm, where achievable, not perfection, but direction. And maybe that is the only kind of freedom that a universe like this allows. Not the absence of all structure, but the ability to understand it and respond with clarity. So the final question is no longer about pressing a button. It becomes something else entirely. Given that existence unfolds, whether welcomed or not, what does it mean to act responsibly from within it?